Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases.
Audible is the destination for thrilling audio entertainment with next listen recommendations to habituate every type of thriller listener.
The time is now more than ever to embrace the breathtaking, sinister, and shocking tales that have enthralled you, especially with brand new exclusive thrillers from best-selling authors who are guaranteed to keep you gripped.
So, Ronnie, I recently downloaded Squeeze Me by Carl Hyacin, mainly because it shows a martini glass with a snake tail wrapped around it. I mean, what else needs to be said? And I am very excited to listen to it later today.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/Crappens or text Crappens to 500-500.
At Saks.com, it's easy to find your new vibe. Dive into the Western trend with gold cowboy boots from Staud, or go full 90s throwback with platforms from Prada.
You can shop Saks.com for everything on your agenda, whether it's a breezy Zimmermann dress for a garden party or a bright Chloe blazer for brunch.
Find inspiration for your new vibe every day at Saks.com.
Do you struggle trying to reach those corner lashes when applying mascara? L'Oréal Paris' new Panorama Mascara catches every lash for corner-to-corner volume.
Your sister has been using this, right?
She loves it. Yes, they sent me some, and I gave it to my sister and my nieces. And actually, I looked at, I saw my niece the other day and was like, your eyelashes, is that the new mascara? She's like, yes, look at them. They were like fanned out. I mean, this is a great product.
You can buy Panorama Mascara on Amazon today.
Want to see life in panorama with fully fanned out lashes? Now you can with L'Oréal Paris Panorama Mascara that creates corner-to-corner panoramic lash volume.
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the wonderful and beautiful Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hello.
So today we're talking Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, and before we get into that, we have our European shows coming up next month, London, Dublin, and Birmingham. Come join us there. Go to watchwhatcrappens.com for tickets. Also join us on Patreon, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens, where you can subscribe on the Crappens on Demand level and watch us, not just listen, and get access to our weekly bonus episode. Not sure what this week's bonus will be, but I believe it was last week, was our House of the Dragon trailer trash. So if you're into Game of Thrones, that's there for you. And who knows what this week will be, but it'll be fun, whatever it is. So anyway, let's dive into some Martha's Vineyard. I feel bad because last week I kind of went in on the show a little bit because I was like, it was more Bravo. Like, don't give us a whole, like, don't do these shooting schedules where then you don't have enough to show us. But then this week was really good. So I'm like, I'm happy to report that I was like very satisfied with this week. And I kind of feel bad that like of all the shows that I did my spiel on, it was this one because I don't want people to think I don't like this show because I really love this show. I just was like, I was pushed to my limit last week, but now I'm back. I'm of saner mind.
You're on a podcast. You're allowed to be a bitch.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I say.
I take it all back.
Yeah, take it back.
So
still a valid opinion. Okay. Your opinion can change from week to week.
But I really like to support this show because I think it's so good. And then of course they have like a really good episode afterwards. And
I don't watch shows to support them. I watch shows for them to support me. I'm not here for this show's fucking mental health. You know what I mean? This show is here for my mental health. Fuck that show. I'll say whatever I want to. They're here for me. I'm not here for them. The fuck is this, a charity?
But then also, of course, after I have a rant, the very next episode doesn't like back up my rant too. Where I'm like, see, nothing happens. And then they have an episode where things happen. I'm like, well, never mind then. But anyway, so the last episode ended with Nick discovering that he actually gets handsy with the women and he like doesn't know how to deal with that. So he basically asks Summer and Jordan, like, do I make you guys feel uncomfortable? And they're like, yeah. And that was our cliffhanger.
They're like, you're handsy. And he goes, but like inappropriately? You're handsy, period. Yeah, that's inappropriate. You're not allowed to be handsy. It's just a different time. I don't think you're going to meet any girl who's going to be like, oh my God, that guy's handsy. Love him. Love him. Always grabbing at me and pawing at me. It's great. You're not pawing at ugly girls. You're pawing at hot girls in bikinis, sir. Okay? So when you apply your handsiness equally across the board, it's not just handsiness, it's perviness.
Right. And so he tells us, Summer, Jordan, and I are close. So if you're a friend, then tell me how you're feeling at that moment. I'm like, that's not how it works with these situations, sir. And like, that's of course what the man would say. Of course, the man would be like, well, if I had known, it was up to them to tell me that I was being a perv, but I didn't know.
Well, it's up to you to know not to be putting your hands all over women in bikinis.
Yeah.
Okay? No one else is doing it.
Yeah, especially if you have a girlfriend and it doesn't seem like you have the sort of relationship where that flies.
Well, that girl's an idiot. That Tasia girl's an idiot. After how you could still date this person after watching last year and his behavior last year when he completely pretended he didn't even know you so that he could bang people until he was unbangable and then said, oh, well, I have a girlfriend. Right. So, yeah, I could excuse it last year because, like she didn't know, but she's seen the show now and she's still like, oh, love you, honey. Bye. No.
Yeah.
No, Tasia. Run, Tasia. So also, I just have an affinity for people named Tasia and I want to protect them all at all costs, Like I'll go see Color Purple again.
I was about to say,
I love Tasia. I love my Fantasia.
You're like, I'm not going to advocate for any of these TV shows, but I will advocate for Fantasia Barrino.
Yes, who came from American Idol. And I will always advocate for her. I love her. Okay, so she doesn't need to show up for work. Oprah? Oprah had this whole thing where she was like, you know what, Fantasia? I put you on Broadway and you never even show up to do your show. And it pisses people off. And she's like, sorry, Oprah. Well, here's what I say. She's Fantasia. She doesn't have to come to work. Okay? Every day is Fantasia doesn't have to come to work if she doesn't want to.
Absolutely.
Fantasia comes to work when Fantasia wants to. I only want Fantasia when she wants to be there, okay? Public service announcement over.
You're going to get peak Fantasia. So, Jordan and Summer are like, look, don't be self-conscious. Like, you're aware now. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to make you guys uncomfortable. And Jordan's like, we didn't say you're a creep. We know you're a creep, so we don't have to say it. So the producer's like, so Jordan, would you want your man being handsy with your friends? And she's like, no. And he's not out here slinging dick or doing anything crazy, but, there's subtleties that I'm like, this is not a man that is committed to his relationship. So I hope he can clock it and move on.
Okay, so then Bria is talking about how Milo looks just like Alex. Just funny. And they just show Milo sitting there like writing poetry.
Milo is part of a music collective for dogs, so that makes sense.
Milo's like, if you wanted to come, you would have been part of the Facebook group.
So then Nick goes downstairs and he announces that he just talked with the two girls. And, and so everyone was like, okay. And then he's like, I didn't realize. They said I get close and I don't want to make them uncomfortable. And Preston's like, yeah, just give them 2 inches or a couple of feet. Stay away from them.
So then Noelle is Shanice is calling her mom. And she's like, Mom, I'm having a neon party. You want to do some shots? Mom, are you doing shots right now? It's crazy. I look so hot in my bikini. Mom, shot.
And then Shanice is like, my mom knows everything. She knows who I go out with, when I'm in the club, when I'm going down a slip and slide. She's hardworking and she's independent. And we see a picture of her mom. And her mom is definitely, if I were to describe her mom, she has the look of a lady who wears a sort of like a shiny purple jacket getting onto an airplane and then is very disoriented about what to do next.
Well, I'll tell you this. Whenever I meet somebody's mom in real life or on a TV show, I just assume they're going to be a stereotypical, like, oh, hi, honey. How can I be supportive? Even though my mom's nothing like that. I mean, I'm not saying she's not supportive, but my mom's just not like that. But I assume everybody else's mom is like, oh, hi, honey. I knitted you something. So I'm always surprised when they don't play into a stereotype. Then her mom definitely doesn't. She's like, Mom, last night they were playing a game and Summer said I was the worst dressed. And her mom's like, fuck that fucking bitch. Yeah, she wants a piece of you. She can have a piece of me. Yeah, tell her mom's here. Tough tits. Take it up the ass, whore. I was like, oh my God.
I know. I love, like, her mom just like the trashy in the best way.
I'll knock the shit out of that.
You hear her like sucking down at Benson and Hedges. She's like,
I'll beat the shit out of that girl.
Well, I don't know. Like, tell her, hey, you want to act like you're 14? Your opinion don't count anyway, bitch. She ain't no fashion designer.
and I love that Shanice is like, yeah, I'm just talking to my mom while she's at work. I'm just imagining the mom at like Bank of America, you know, like,
hold on, man. Oh, fucking kick that bitch's ass. I said, hold on, goddammit.
She's the checkout lady at Penny's. So she's like, yeah, it just triggers me, Mom, because I lost my job, and you know that, so it's like a jab. She was like, yeah, well, you guys need to learn to support each other. She ain't worth it, toots. Move on. Because you know what I would do? I would knock the shit out of her.
Yeah. So then later we see everybody getting ready for this party, and Jasmine is walking around with a wine glass, but it points at it. The screen points at it. It's like, ding, it's apple juice. So then, listen, I've never been less excited about someone's pregnancy. It's not that I'm normally that excited, but this one, I'm not only not excited, I'm sad. It's like foreboding, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want a baby shower. I just want like a baby dry. What would you call it? I don't want to shower you with anything except lawyer advice.
Yeah. I'm also not excited about this pregnancy, mainly because Silas is a monster. And so it's like not exciting to see a baby monster coming into this world. And like the constant, indications of what Jasmine is drinking. I feel like on one hand, they're like winking at the audience, like she's pregnant. But I also feel like, are they also just doing this to ward off tweets? Like, well, if she's pregnant, why was she drinking white wine? Because she was just drinking white wine and she came out of that bathroom. And they're like, no, it's apple juice. I can't figure out what they're really trying to do right now.
People love pregnancies. I mean, it's still a huge storyline. We may not like it, but I think the world likes it. Think, oh my God, is she pregnant? Is she? Is she? Oh my God, she's pregnant. Let's talk about it. Like, people love pregnancies. I mean,
they love it. I don't know
why. So, to me, it's just like, it's like an overcrowding warning, but okay. I'm like, well, the oceans are still rising. Okay, so everyone is in their neon for this neon party. And Noelle is kind of flirting with Alex in there. She's like, you feeling better? You going to let that stop you from having a good time, though? Oh, I see you came dressed in neon just like me.
He's like, no, you came dressed like me in my music collective. And she's like, no, I was already dressed. Orange, you feeling this? Orange, you feeling this? And by the way, I love that he's still icing his shoulder. Like every time they show him icing his shoulder, I chuckle. Because it's the stupidest injury. It was him just trying to show off something. He didn't even know how to do it, but was just like, I'm going to twirl on these ropes to make myself seem cooler, even though I have no idea what I'm doing. And the fact that he injured himself is so glorious.
He's the kind of guy who walks around with Band-Aids on his fingertips. Like, yeah, just waiting for these calluses, the guitar. I've been going at the guitar pretty hard.
Yeah.
So
he's 100% that person.
He totally is. And he's like, I think that what makes Noelle funny is that she's attractive and she's, light and fun. And I also love an accent. I love a Southern accent. So
I have a cousin with a Southern accent. So now they're
legend.
So now they're like, okay, it's like everyone's gathering and Shanice is like, who wants shots? Come on, everyone, shots. Like, that's like her thing. That's her personality.
And then there are a bunch of blow-up dolls. And then they have a foam pool party. I don't know how that stuff is legal, but we've seen it on multiple Bravo shows now, so I guess it is. But gross. And then slip and slides and stuff. And so Shanice is like, I just want to have fun because, like, I lost my job. So she talks about that leading to depression. And then she just gets naked. And Bria likes it now because her boyfriend's not around. She's like, the first time I got mad is because my boyfriend is here and he sells watches. So got to respect that.
But he's not here, so you can be naked. And then Amir gets like very serious about this idea he has. Oh, he's like, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play slip and slide, flip cup. So what you're going to do is you're going to slide down and then you have to do flip the cup. And then once you flip the cup, then you tag your partner. They have to run to the top of the slip and slide and take a running start and then come all the way down. And then they have to flip the cup. Does this make sense to everyone? Does anyone? Okay. And if you don't want to do this, we have an alternate. We can all do CrossFit if you'd like. Do you want to do that?
And so it starts to rain, and they're like, "Oh, it's okay. We're not going to ruin the party just because we're in the rain. Let's stay out in the rain." And Jasmine's like, yeah, this is my hair plus someone else's hair, and if my hair gets wet today, it's going to take me an hour and a half away from tomorrow's festivities. That's called black girl math. I'm going inside. Goodbye."
Yeah. So they're just like playing this, and then a car arrives and it's like honking, and Shanice's friends are there, Hendrix and Christian. So they show up for like a fleeting moment on this show. It's sort of random. And so I was like, oh, we're getting 2 new cast members, but it wasn't quite. They're just like these guys who Shanice knows because one of them slept with her friend. So she doesn't sleep with him because of that.
And then let's see. Amir's like, he's like, I won. And there is an I in team. So then basically everybody meets these new guys and everyone's watching Hendrix because he's hot. And so he's like jumping into the pool and they're playing porn music and stuff. And Noelle's watching him and then Alex is watching her. Like, is he jealous? And so Hendrix starts talking to Noelle and he's telling her she has nice eyes. And she goes, yeah, well, that comes at a cost. Because God was like, you can have a nice eye color, but you got to wear glasses. And he's like, and I was like, okay. And he goes, you know what? I like that confidence. I'll take it.
And they high five, and they keep cutting back to Alex and just sulking in the corner, which was like hilarious. And then, today it turns out today is Hendrix's birthday, so they all cheer for him and everything. And then Noelle's like, "You got to get foamed up because you're the birthday boy." So she starts like taking the foam and like rubbing it on his chest, copying like a free feel. And they cut to Alex just foaming up his own chest, like fantasizing about no one's rubbing my chest. Did you see that? Did you catch that?
So then she's like, I can do whatever I want. I'm not tied down. I'm single. So then they share a mini cupcake and like Lady and the Trampet. You know, they're like, ah, blah. And then it's time to go out, party. Ding. Jasmine is only drinking tea, guys. Do not care. Do not care. Can we possibly have one scene where I'm not reminded that Jasmine has been implanted with the spawn of Satan? That would be great.
Also, notice how no one else cares. Because remember last episode, I think it was Summer was like, I think Jasmine's pregnant. Oh, really? You think so? Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool.
Bria's
no
like,
one's
yeah,
asking.
typical, because of course he dropped a baby in her and then left. Like, it's typical.
And not a single one of them is asking or trying to get to the bottom of it or trapping her or observing. Like literally no one cares.
Yeah, no one likes Jasmine. And it's so sad because they've made her the lead of the show, but no one likes her. So then Noelle and Alex are in the kitchen, and now she's kind of flirting with him. And so she's asking like if he's single, and he's like, oh, I was kind of seeing someone over the summer, but that was just fun. And, you've got a good vibe. You've got a good vibe. You bring fun. And she's like, I'm fun. And they start laughing. And then Summer comes in and kind of interrupts them. She's like, sorry, guys, just looking for my phone. No, seriously, keep flirting. Love it. Have nothing for Alex at all. Just wanted to find my phone so I can take a picture of it while Alex isn't looking. Seen that?
So they all go out because they're going out at midnight because they're young and they do that. And so then some people, Preston and Summer and Jasmine, stay behind, and they just all are like hanging out. And of course, Milo poops on the carpet. I was like, of course, this is why Milo is the worst dog on Bravo.
I mean, Milo, bro, you were just outside all night.
All night long.
But I think dogs need to be watched. Like Bueller's like, you are watching me, right? Like he looks back to see if I'm watching through the window. Sometimes they'll hold it. They love a show. What can I tell you? That's like his thing. He's like, this is the one thing I do that you always say I'm a good boy for. So could you at least watch me? I've been saving this up all day.
Yeah, seriously, Milo is out there well, at least Milo didn't poop in the pool, because I wouldn't put it past Milo to do something like that. Or at least he didn't poop on the slip and slide, because that would have been a huge disaster.
Yeah. So then Jordan, so now they're getting ready to go out, and Jordan and Shanice are talking about, like, did you talk to Summer about saying you're the worst dressed? Oh my God. How much do we have to talk about it? Yes, they talked about it. She passed Summer in the hallway, and Summer said, "Are you mad?" And she said, "Yeah, I didn't like that you said that." And then Summer said, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
What more do we need? Like,
Exactly.
seriously.
So it's the next day, and Jordan's saying that she has an issue with Summer because like there was a situation where Summer made out with like one of Jordan's like favorite bartenders in the neighborhood, and she like made out downstairs in front of her in the lobby of her building or something like that, and it was like very mortifying for Jordan.
Yeah. Because her friend was like going hot and heavy in front of her building.
Yeah. So, and it was on, I guess it's like, she says it's hard enough being a black woman on Park Avenue, so I don't need the judgment. So I think I missed that she said she was on Park Avenue. So hearing that she's on Park Avenue and she's like, okay, I don't want people to think, like I'm already dealing with enough eyes on me. I don't want to be also the one who has like a friend who's like making out in the lobby, I guess. I don't know. It's a strange foundation for a fight, but I'll take it.
You were making out with somebody in front of my building on Park Avenue. It's a very Bravo fight.
My doorman felt so awkward the entire time.
My doorman still tells me, "Hey, your friend left her package." It's not funny. So then now one group leaves, and Amir, Preston, and Bria and Noelle are all in the car, and they're talking about Hendrix. And she's like, he's just one of those guys that he wants you all to be all up on him, and I just met him, so whatever. So they're asking her about Alex.
Something must have happened at that club, by the way, because she was all about Hendrix. They went off to the club, and now she's not into Hendrix, and we never see him again. So something definitely went down.
Well, she was flirting with Alex already right after the pool in the house. So I think she was flirting with Hendrix to make Alex gel. And then it looked like Alex was gel. And so she thought, oh, then Alex likes me. That's what I was getting from it. Like she was trying to like see if the vibes were right with Alex. And then Alex showed interest by being jealous. Right. So that's why she gets the confidence to do what she does later.
Yeah. And so Amir's like, yeah, what's going on with you and Alex? Looked like you guys had a moment. And she's like, yeah, we were just talking. He's cute. Like he's giving single and ready to mingle. But I get from him that, and like, he just doesn't want to show his hand. I'm like, there's no hand to show, unfortunately. Like if he shows his hand, it's like, it's an empty void. So don't get too excited for what's behind it.
He said it's because he had calluses from the guitar, but I don't know. And Preston's like, oh, yeah, he's very, very private. Very, very. He's a musician. What are you talking about? He's private. He's not listing all the people he bangs because he's banging everybody. He doesn't want people to start connecting the dots. I don't think that equals privacy.
He's very private and yet is very happy to announce who his cousin is. So
exactly.
I don't know how private that really is.
Yeah, he's not private. He's just not advertising his fuck list so that people don't know that he's hoeing around.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Professional welder Shayna Ford used VR training developed by ForgeFX to hone her skills as a welder.
The more time that you spend practicing it, that's what separates a good welder from a great welder.
VR training can help students like Shayna repeatedly practice specific skills.
Virtual reality definitely helps because the more muscle memory that you have, the smoother your weld is.
Explore more stories like Shayna's at meta.com/metaverseimpact.
CarMax is putting peace of mind back in car shopping by putting you in the driver's seat to find a ride that's right for you. Because at CarMax, we believe you shouldn't just settle for a car. You should love your car. That's why every car we sell is CarMax certified quality, so you can be sure with upfront pricing that's the same for every customer. So don't settle. Find love at first drive and start shopping now at CarMax.com. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
So Noelle's like, I was in one serious relationship and I was on my way home to Christmas and this guy's like, oh, I can't wait to go back to Atlanta and see all my hoes. And I was like, what? So now I'm in a single stage, I guess.
Note to philanderers out there: don't say that if you're having an affair. It's not helpful for your affair or for your main relationship. I mean, if you're gonna cheat properly, but like that's just a sloppy cheating.
That's just bad cheating. Yeah, be a good cheater.
Come on now.
Something terrible at it.
Noelle is like, okay, real talk. How would you feel if your girl, and he's like, Summer, you're talking about Summer. Yeah, had dealings with the guy. Like, she doesn't care, but I do. And Preston's like, oh, come on. You guys should be exchanging dick stories. And then they laugh.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to be like mad your friend hooked up with a guy before she even knew you. This is weird. So now Jasmine is in, I mean, not that she's saying she's upset about it, just that I guess it's weird for her to hook up with the same guy. It's not weird. You totally want to hook up with that guy. Just hook up with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gay, so I feel like there's only a certain pool, and I think all the gays have fucked each other.
Yeah, they have.
Right? Yeah.
Certainly.
So then Jasmine is talking to Summer. She's like, okay, so Summer, do you have friends coming? She goes, yeah, I have some friends coming. She goes, okay, good, because Mariah's coming. So we're in a better place now. And we had to talk about everything, and, because she was really hurt by how things played out last summer. And last summer was the first time our friendship was tested. But, like I had to FaceTime her over and over and she wouldn't talk to me. But then we had some really real, like, you fucked up kind of conversations. So now we're friends. And so I told her I wanted her to come. It's like, oh, that's gonna go over well. But you do need somebody in this house to talk to you. So.
Yeah, and for those who don't remember, Mariah was kicked out of the house after she shoved laundry into Bria's chest. So, huge infractions happening. So, then Summer is like, oh, and by the way, Phil's coming. They're bringing back all the greatest hits. So Jordan's like, yeah, Phil can stay where he is. And Summer's like, no, but he's just coming to visit. And Jasmine's like, well, I just don't know if I trust Phil in the house with other people. And Jordan's like, I don't trust him for anything other than to get on my nerves. And I'm like, Phil is like clearly a piece of shit, like asshole who they like for them to feel unsafe around him is 100% valid. That being said, let's just have him come for like a night, maybe. I don't know. I really enjoyed him.
But it was funny.
It was great TV.
Yeah. Like, he's terrible, but it was funny. And the clip they show is like, oh, so you're mad I shit in Nick's toilet? Well, I'll shit in yours next.
I know.
And then Jordan's response, we flush toilets, bitch. I mean,
it's kind of amazing.
It was pretty good. So now the other group is shopping. They're at the grocery store. And Amir's like, oh my God, let's get some blue corn tortillas. And they're like, why do we need healthy taco shells? And he goes, we're worried about our blood sugar, guys. Oh, fuck off.
Amir. And he's like, God, why is this so expensive? It's like, because you got the fancy tortillas. And the lady at the checkout's like, you also got premium meat. And by the way, you're in Martha's Vineyard, so you're both on an island and you're in a rich place. So congrats. Enjoy your $45 hot dogs.
I love being premium meat shamed by the checkout lady. Well, you got the premium meat. What do you expect? I don't expect it to be that much. There shouldn't be there shouldn't be such a huge difference that I have to pay $1 million extra to not be poisoned by your fucking hormones and injections. Not yours personally, lady. I just mean the world's.
The world's that you're purveying here at your shop.
Yeah.
Lady.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the store.
Yelling at
society. And you are representing the store. So guess what? You get to hear it.
So now they're driving back and they're talking about cooking and everything. And Noelle goes, well, I'm sorry, Bria is like, the way to a man's stomach is through his heart.
That's not really how that works.
No.
So then now what's her buns? Noelle has brought some food home for Alex because Alex is vegan, right? So he's like, oh, you guys got me something? And they're like, no, Noelle did. And Summer hears this, so she immediately starts watching from the couch.
Yeah.
And Noelle's like, I got you something vegan. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not a tofu guy, but I guess it's the effort that counts. And she's like, yeah, it's the thought that counts. It's like, yeah, gross. Fuck you.
He's such
Fuck
a
this
fucker.
guy.
And this isn't I seem to remember this happened once before. Was it earlier this season? Was it last season? There was 100% a moment last year, I think, where they made him something and he was totally ungracious about it as well. This guy's such a this guy. He's such a piece of work.
How much tofu have you made me?
Like, could you imagine someone goes out of their way to get you like a special meal for your special diet that you're probably only indulging in performatively, and then you don't even just say, oh, thank you so much, and then you don't like eat around the stuff, and then when no one's looking, you just throw it out. Like, what a dick.
Yeah. So then Jordan is not happy. She sees that. She's like, Noelle bought him a sandwich and there's no gratitude. There's no gratitude. That was premium tofu. The checkout lady even said it. And Noelle's like, not Noelle. Summer's like, oh, God, that was so cringy. Why do you think I want you to have him? Do you? Do you, though? Do you really? So now in the kitchen, Preston is talking. They're giving Amir shit. They're like, okay, Amir, if we give you a list of 15 movies, will you watch them?
Yeah, so they're basically questioning whether or not he's seen movies like Baby Boy or Jody or New Jack City or Harlem Nights or Love and Basketball. He's like, yeah, I've seen that one. I also saw this great documentary about blue corn tortillas. Does that count?
So now Jasmine's like, guys, I've got a microphone. Nobody likes a house meeting better than when it's led by somebody with a microphone. People, let's go. My God, this girl, can she be more annoying? She carries around a fucking microphone.
Where did that mic come from? That just
it's like
came
their
out of nowhere.
karaoke mic from the living room. She's
yeah.
trying to be funny, but you better not wave a mic in my face. I'll tell you that right now.
And Amir goes, uh-oh, the spirit of Silas is speaking through Jasmine. So now it's time for they're all like, oh god, it's a house meeting, what next, and then they have Milo in the confessional just like shaking his doggy head, probably shitting on the producer's foot. So then Jasmine's like, okay everyone, so we need to talk about guests, 2 specific people. How does everyone feel about Phil coming as Shanice and Bria's guest? And note that I'm going to say Phil first in order to soften up the room for Mariah.
Oh shit, this is what we're talking about first. Maybe we should do some shots. Shots, everybody.
Shots. Hold on, I'm getting a call from my mother. Okay, well, hi mom, what do you want to say? Yeah, let my daughter bring whatever fucking friend she wants to bring in this house.
And Amir's like, Nick took it upon himself to take a shit in Phil's toilet and leave it there for him to flush. Did we forget that? Did we forget that was the plot line for one day on this show? And Noelle's just making her faces over there. And Amir's like, and then he disrespected Preston and Alex. And then he wanted to go head to head with me. I don't know that guy's shit. No pun intended.
Noelle is doing like cartoon jury member right now with her eyes bulging and eek faces. She's cracking me up. I love Noelle. I think she's a great addition to this show.
And Alex is like, you're not the only one who feels that way. I feel that way too. I've written a song about it. Here's the first 30 seconds. You're not the only one that feels that way. Please subscribe to me on Spotify for the rest.
You took a shit in my toilet and left it unflushed. And then someone took a photo of me from afar and left it untouched.
I'm a legend. A legend, walking legend.
I sing this song to you, even though you brought me tofu.
I'm a legend. A fucking legend. That's every chorus that he sings.
Every chorus.
So Preston's like, yeah, he gives off vibes that are unhealthy as fuck. And the way he came in last year makes me uncomfortable. And we all know, in 2024, being uncomfortable is the greatest sin ever. Absolutely not. Now, why they would even try to bring this guy back is crazy. But, whatever. I'm glad they all stood up for themselves.
They should. There's no reason for this person to come back. There's a reason for us as audience members because Phil was like, terrible and like a throwback to like the Pucks and the various other disruptors of the real world era. But there's no way in the reality of this show that he should ever be coming back. And it's wild that Bria And Shanice ever thought that was a good idea to even entertain that thought.
Yeah. So then Alex is like, this makes me question Bria and Shanice. Like, it makes me question how they view other people. And so Bria's like, oh my God, you guys, like, he's not going to be like that again. And Preston's like, he said, fuck all of you. And I quote. And they're like, well, but he was just drunk. And Jordan's like, we got into a damn near physical confrontation and I never got an apology. I mean, was it as offensive as making out with somebody in front of my building? Maybe not. But it was still pretty bad.
And then Nick is like, no. And she's like, well, I think he's fun as fuck, but we're not going to argue with you. If you don't want him here, he's not going to come. And Bria's saying, how like, hey, I saw, like, I'm just asking if you can come over here, just be friends. I'm not offering him like a bunk bed in the basement, but like, they're all acting like he committed murder. He didn't physically assault someone. I mean, he only physically assaulted them with his words, which is like, that's not physically whatever. And she's like, damn, I mean, it's like, if you're gonna let someone's words get to you, I don't know, check yourself, says Bria, who storms off literally every single scene.
And does in like 2 minutes, by the way. And also I like that she added in there, he didn't physically assault someone because she considers herself physically assaulted by laundry. I mean,
right.
Now listen, last year I was on her side because that wasn't cool, but it wasn't like, talk about over dramatic. It's not like you were beat, no one beat the shit out of you either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Amir's like, okay, if you guys want to hang out, fine, but not at the house. We don't feel comfortable. So then Shanice is like, okay, so no for Phil, yes to shots. Okay, got it. So how do we all feel about Mariah coming? And Preston's like, oh, I love Mariah. That's great. I love Mariah because I know it's going to piss Bria off, and I love nothing more than coming for Bria subtly and then watching her spiral in front of everybody. So, yay, Mariah.
And Jasmine's like, well, I would never want to blindside anyone. So I just want,
because what Sandra Bullock really did to that guy. It wasn't pretty.
And Bria's like, you know what? I don't want to talk to y'all. You're all getting on my nerves. So she storms off after having just said that you can't let people's words get to you. And Jasmine's like, I don't want to make assumptions, but I know we're going to have people coming. So I thought maybe we could have Mariah because I think we've already established that Phil is the very worst. So Mariah's really not that bad anymore now that we started with Phil before Mariah, right?
Basically. And Bria, who's just stormed off like right to the kitchen, which is right there. She's like, yeah, but things happen and people are like, let's just not address that. And Jasmine's like, I've personally spoken with her about you. And her intention is good energy. And she goes, okay, fine. I trust you. I don't mind then. I'm fine with it. So that was surprising. I did not think it was going to end like that.
Same.
But it doesn't really as it continues. But it seemed like it was ending right there.
So then Amir says something. What did he say? He says something like, hey, guys, I'm just going to finish making the salad and then I'm going to go to the trampoline. He was like really excited. I love that the trampoline was part of his day plan. And then we see Amir and Alex and Summer on the trampoline playing a game called Crack the Egg that Amir was very, very excited about.
I love this game. I used to love this game. So then Shanice and Bria, have you jumped on the trampoline as an adult? It is so hard.
I don't think I have.
I thought I was stroking out.
I don't think I have.
Your body doesn't know how to do it anymore. My body doesn't know how to do it anymore. I tried it a couple of years ago and I was like, I think I'm dying.
Yeah, it seems scary to me. I would be afraid of like breaking my wrists.
Yeah. So then my brain leaked out of my ear. Okay. So then Preston and Amir are talking and Amir is grilling and Preston's crying. And he's like, what's wrong with you? He's like, I'm just so mad. I'm trying to calm down. This is why I hate being the only gay man in the house. And then we see a clip of Phil being like, what's that guy's well, we see a clip of Phil inside. Bria is talking to Phil on the phone and she's like, yeah, they do not want you here. And Preston's really mad and he goes, why? No grown man should be that upset. And then back to Preston, he's like, I mean, everyone's making me feel like I'm exaggerating how I feel. And then we see, because I don't remember why he's upset. I don't remember Phil being a homophobe or anything. But then we get a clip of Phil pointing a gun at him.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that I totally forgot about that, and I feel like I've made a lot of comments last season and this season about how hilarious Phil was, and he should come back. But this, to me, is actually totally 100% like not It's unforgivable. I think like aiming a gun.
Well, it wasn't
even
a
as
real
joke,
gun. Was this a real gun? I thought it was like a
was a
squirt
BB
gun with shots.
I thought maybe it was a BB gun. I don't know. I think that's like
He wasn't really threatening him with a gun.
yeah, but I feel
Okay.
like if someone does that to me, like that's gonna be a deal breaker. That's so. I think like it's just scary, and I think that image is like could be very. I'm lucky. I don't have any real life experience where that would trigger something beyond just the fact that it's like a scary thing. But like to do that with someone not knowing what they've gone through in their life, I think is like is a terrible thing to do.
Oh, I mean, I was like, why are you so upset? Like, I didn't really get it. I mean, I get that they didn't like the guy, but I didn't feel like it was a big homophobic thing against Preston because he
Well,
was
'cause he's-
basically the
right.
clip they showed. It's him saying, it's your turn to take a shot and I don't want any back tops. So stop being soft.
I think it was the soft
it's
mark
just
that
like
got to
total
Preston.
a straight guy thing to do, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that I'm assuming that for Preston, what triggered him was the stop being soft, because that's like there's like an implicit homophobia in that, and maybe like also saying that while also aiming a gun at him. I think that probably just like something happened like that triggered Preston in some way that like I'm just saying I would just be triggered just by like a gun and like people have been like mugged, people have been they've experienced violence, and I think if you aim a gun at someone even in a joking way at like a BB gun, like that could be just like that could just be devastating for someone. I think I just think it was totally irresponsible on that point.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
So then Noelle is sitting with Shanice and Bria, who are still on the phone with Phil. And Noelle's like, oh my God. Oh, she's like, oh, hi, Phil. I heard you left a lasting impression. And he's like, I've grown. No.
I'm sure Phil's grown.
I can promise you Phil has not grown. Yeah. And so Bria's like, oh, well, Mariah's coming. Do you still talk to Mariah? And he's like, yeah, she told me not to tell you she was coming, though. She was going to surprise you. Boom.
And yeah, they're like, really? And they're like, but how, like
we get
how
all
can
my
there be a
favorite sound
pop-up?
effects. We get a boom, and then they look at each other, and then we get a tss, and then we get a.
It was everything all at once. Like Mariah was going to make a surprise visit to Martha's Vineyard. It was almost turning into like Bravo's version of like Cell Block Tango. Lip shits.
And Bria's like, I didn't know she had a secured plane ticket. Do you have plans to meet up with her? He goes, yeah, we were going to meet up. Just going to point a gun at her and make her do some shots. And Bria's like, I feel played. So she's like, she was already planning on bringing her no matter what happened in that house meeting. That's like a punch in the face. And we're in the room. We share a bathroom. There were so many opportunities to tell me.
Anytime while I was taking a shit, she could have knocked and said, by the way, Mariah's coming. So
in Jasmine's defense, Jasmine's not my fave, but in Jasmine's defense, the plan was that they were going to surprise you with somebody to make the show interesting. And Jasmine went against that and told you. She did not have to do that because this is a reality show and the plan was obviously to shock you. Even Mariah's like, I'm going to surprise everybody. So I think Jasmine was being pretty nice.
And also in Jasmine's defense, as she kind of like alludes to later, but she doesn't explicitly say it, like sometimes you just got to get the plane ticket first and then figure out what to do later. Because the longer you wait, the fewer tickets there are and the more expensive they become. So some just lock it down first and then figure it out from there.
Yeah. So then now Jordan is crying and talking about how she's losing her hair. She's telling Summer. And she's like, my hair's falling out. I don't feel like myself. And Summer's like, well, we can just stay home. And she's like, no, I don't want to just stay home. But, I don't want to be a sourpuss either. It's just really hard. And then we got to Shanice going, we need more tequila.
And Jordan's basically, she's saying she always, she's even when she wore wigs before, at least she had an option to not wear a wig, and now she has to wear a wig, and it's just like really hard. And Summer's just comforting her and stuff. And then Preston tells Alex that he loves his Gordon Gartrell shirt and everything. Alex is like, I don't get it. But then now they go into cars, and they're going to go out to the club. I feel bad. There's only like one club that they seem to go to. I think they're like one dance club in all of Martha's Vineyard. They're always going to, it's something called like 11 something or another. So they head back over there, and actually, no, I'm sorry. They don't go to the club this time. This time they're actually just going to like a place with like picnic benches and stuff. And Alex is like, guys, since we're at like a cheap bar, the tab is on me. Don't worry, everyone. I got this.
So then Bria's like, Noelle's like, okay, I'll do a prayer. Rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub. Yeah, God love you. Bye. And Bria's like, yes, and God also help me keep my attitude in check. And Shanice is like, and help me keep my vagina in my dress. And also, God, let's do a shot. God!
Thank you, God, for the shots.
So they're having oysters, and Noelle's like, yeah, you're supposed to have oysters in all of the months that have an R in it. I saw that on Twitter or something.
Yeah. And so they're just like talking. Shanice is joking that she got a UTI from the slide and everything. And Alex is like, have you ever hosted a party? Or are you just too psycho to do that? I don't know. She's weird. I'm not comfortable with her. And Shanice is saying that was her first party that she's ever hosted, ever. And so they're all like, yeah, good job. You did that.
Yeah, and Shanice is like, yeah, it was my first time, mostly because you guys paid for it, because we're in production, But another thing about my party is, like, everyone else's party, we have to have, like, super serious conversations, but my party, we didn't. We just had shots. It was amazing. And I'm like, yeah, good job. No substance. Great.
Great time.
Great party.
And Bria's like, yeah, that was pure fun. Okay, now back to the drama. So, Jasmine, quick question. Was it premeditated to have Jasmine here? I mean, to have Mariah here? And then it's like, dun, 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 dun. And Jasmine's like, I mean, yeah, I definitely wanted to invite her for sure. And Bria's like, but was her ticket already booked? She's, I mean, as of now it is.
Yeah, but you can tell, you can't come up against Jasmine. Jasmine argues every day. She's married to Silas.
Yeah.
You think that she's just going to give in this easy? I love how she answers. As if now it's booked, which she's not going to give in. And she goes, but since when was it booked? And she goes, probably last night. So then receipts pop up saying 5 days ago. So Jasmine's like, where does that narrative come from? Premeditated? What's she talking about? And she goes, you know how flights work, and if you had said no, flights are canceled. And that's fine. And Bria's like, after our conversation, we called Phil and said he said he planned on meeting up with Mariah when she gets here.
And Preston's like, to come to the house? And Bria's like, that's what he said. And Jordan's like, well, he's not welcome in the house. And they're all getting kind of like worked up about this. And Noelle's like, no, he's not planning on coming to the house. And Bria's just like, stop bugging out, okay? Like, all I'm saying is, if he shows up, it's not from us inviting him out. I'm just letting you guys know.
And Jasmine's like, come on. It was an economic choice. Okay. And so now they're all stressed. And Jordan's like, if they had done that with Phil, we would be super, super pissed, So we have to understand why she's pissed. And Summer's like, well, we should acknowledge that at least Jasmine brought it up to everybody and didn't just surprise everybody. And Jordan's like, I don't think that's the point, actually, Summer. And she goes, okay, my bad. And Summer's like, Summer's like, my bad. It's not that deep, guys. And Bria goes, it is that deep. She's like, I'm just saying, have some common respect. And she goes, it's very deep. And Shanice is like, oh, we should do some shots. Shots.
I respect shots. Oh, common respect for shots. So Jasmine's basically like, Bria, I don't want you to feel set up, and that actually hurts my feelings that me booking a ticket behind your back and then acting like it was spontaneous hurt your feelings.
So she tells us, listen, I had to ask my best friend to leave because one person felt uncomfortable over laundry. So if I felt like she was dangerous, I wouldn't have brought her. You know what I mean? So
and by the way, the only true reason why Mariah was kicked out of the house was because Phil was kicked out of the house, and it became it became sort of like not tit for tat because that minimizes it, but it became a situation like Phil has to be kicked out because he's making everyone feel uncomfortable. It's like, well, how do you have, that's a double standard for Mariah because Mariah did something that made Bria feel really uncomfortable. It's like, okay, we'll kick everyone out who makes people feel uncomfortable. So Mariah was, if it hadn't been for Phil, Mariah probably would not have been kicked out.
So then Amir is talking to Summer, and he's such a shit stir. He's like, so, Summer, you're pretty upset right now, huh? So have you talked to Shanice yet? Do it now. And she's like, oh, God. So he's like, Shanice, do you want to have a conversation with Summer? Okay, Lisa Vanderpump. So Shanice is like, oh, my brain is like fried right now. I've never had so many conversations about one thing, but okay. The reason I was upset is because I've lost my job and I'm poor and I can't afford to dress nice.
And I have trust issues and that's why I have a therapist. And Summer's like, yeah, we should probably talk about that. But it's not that you don't look good. You have the best body. You put in the work. You just dress like you were in the movie Labyrinth. You look like a pile of clothes that fell on your head from a skyscraper. How do I put this kindly?
You look like you were rolled over by a snuffleupagus. And the hair just stuck to your butt. She's like, whoa, wait a minute.
But you have a great body. And that's what's so funny because you have a great body and you hide it under all these terrible fabrics. Isn't it?
And
It's
I'm
kind
so
of fun.
glad you're seeing a therapist. Might I suggest asking the therapist if you could borrow an outfit or two, maybe?
Maybe a stylist too. I don't know. Just work through it.
So people laugh because Summer's like, I mean, you work out, but you still have no taste, basically. And so Summer's like, stop, it's not funny right now. And Jordan goes, who's laughing? And she's like, they were. I'm not talking about you, Jordan. And she goes, then why are you turning up at me? And then Bria is texting her mom. She's like, I'm ready to go home. And to prove it, here's a house emoji.
So you know exactly where I'm going. And when she said that, I thought she meant like, oh, she's going to go back. She's leaving Martha's Vineyard. But she was just telling her mom she's just going back to the house. I was like, okay, I think maybe you have too much of a relationship with your mom. That's too much information. I don't feel like any parent needs to know
I feel
exactly.
like she was probably saying she's ready to leave Martha's Vineyard because she's, yeah, that's her thing. Is like she's always wanting to walk off. And I think people are like, now listen, Bria, you can't keep walking off this year and spend 2 days in bed whenever you get upset. Because this one, she like got up and walked off, but just went to the kitchen and like stayed kind of in the room. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I'm going to go home. But then she doesn't really. I think she's learning how to want to walk off, but stay even when it's uncomfortable.
So Summer's like, well, Shanice, I'm sorry for what I said and when I said it. And to show how sincere I am, here's a picture I just took of Alex from 5 minutes ago. Wait a second.
I just want you to notice how tastefully he's dressed. Just it was when he was sitting over there on that side of the table. I'm still on this side of the table. I know, but this was in the past. God, stop looking at me, Alex. Jesus.
And here's
he's looking away. Hold on.
Oh my God. I can't believe John Legend is here. What? Just got another photo of him. It's so easy to make him look away. Oh, here's a picture of him throwing out the tofu that Noelle got him. Isn't that hilarious?
Oh, okay. So now Preston is like, oh my God, she walks out so much. I hope next time she walks out to New York or Germany because Bria now leaves. Now, I just said Bria's learning to not walk off, but she does. She gets up and walks off. So Summer's like, okay, so Preston, was I wrong how I talked to Jordan? And he's like, it's just that you raise your voice sometimes, you know?
She's like, and she doesn't? He goes, no, she does for sure. Does also. And so then Summer starts to cry. And she goes, yeah, when I do it, I'm wrong. Why does everyone allow Jordan to be mean? Why can't we all go through this with love? And she says that she's still learning Jordan and Jordan's still learning her. And she's very passionate when she talks. And you can disagree with me and that's fine. But how you talk to someone matters. Like, for instance, if you tell one of your best friends that she's the worst dressed in the house, you have to do it in a certain way that's thoughtful and with love.
Especially when she's broke and poor and thinks she's never going to work again. You know what I mean? That's how to show love. Now, sometimes I feel like Jordan's cold and shows no friendship towards other people. And also this is from watching her on Winter House. There's like there's some moves that Jordan makes that I'm like, I don't know that she's the nicest. Now, that said, she was just crying to you in the bathroom about losing her hair and all the stress that's putting her under. And she came out anyway. And now you're crying, wondering why hello.
She's like in a heightened emotional state.
Right. She might have something going on. You know what I mean, right. Summer? Okay. Think a little deeper on that subject.
Put two and two together there a little bit.
But then on the other hand, Summer has just been quote unquote attacked because, it's reality TV and she had 2 people coming for her at one dinner. So that's probably got to be hard too. But these kids,
they just,
they need another 10 years on TV to get used to it.
I have a question. What happened to the days when you could just make out with someone in the lobby of a Park Avenue apartment building and then go to Martha's Vineyard and say something that has nothing to do with you?
Exactly. God, those are the good old days. So Preston's like, wow, Summer and Jordan both can go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly. I love them, but their tones can be sharp, And I hope I'm not in the middle of this. I just hope I'm not in the middle of this.
Yeah.
I really just want to fight with Bria all the time.
So now is when they go to the club, 11 Circuit. And Jasmine is in the car and, whatever. And so they are all dancing and Shanice is like, oh, shots. And
I just thought it was really weird language because Jasmine's like, well, I wish Bria was coming with us, but she's at home. That's her choice. Her body, her choice. It's like, why are you using pregnancy termination language? It's weird.
She's like, she decided to physically move her body into the car and go to the house emoji building, and that is her body's choice.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't really get it. Okay, so now Alex is flirting with somebody at the club.
Of course.
And the girls go to the bathroom, which, of course, Noelle is new and doesn't really understand. They're still listening to you, right? So we see the camera behind the door or in front of the door. They're behind the door. And Noelle's like, Jasmine, so Alex and this girl are flirting and I know I don't really have a right to feel this way. And Jasmine's like, you do have a right to feel that way. Your body, your choice.
You have this one body, this one moment. She just moves into Boniva language now. So Shanice is like, oh, Alex is a fuckboy. And Noelle's like, he is? She's like, yeah, just watch the way he moves, which Shanice is 100% correct about. So then Bria gets home and she's calling her mom. She's like, I'm home. For some reason, Jasmine thought it was okay to bring Mariah out. She doesn't know the information I know. I think she's lying. And you know that the mom's like, you made me pause NCIS to listen to this stupid story.
The mom's like, can I go one day without you calling me crying about somebody? So then, so outside the girls are talking about Alex still. And then Alex comes up and he's like, did I hear someone say legend? And they're like, okay, we'll let you guys talk. So she starts doing this self-protecting applying of lip gloss. She's
but also, by the way, before this even happened, right before this, when Noelle is trying to figure out where she stands with Alex, the girls tell her, Alex is the sort of person who really responds well to when you're straight up with him. So she's like, okay, cool.
Oh, okay. So then she's like, okay, so you're an attractive person and I like you, but you probably don't even know that I have an interest in you. Did you know that I have an interest in you? And he's like, well, I think that you kind of shared me that with a little bit, but I'm just enjoying getting to know you as a new person in the group who brings incorrect foods to me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you had an interest in me until you brought something for me to eat that I clearly don't like. Who does that to someone that they like? Ugh, gross.
And so she's like, well, a toxic trait of mine is that I can be very territorial with people. And
don't leave the back
I am being like that with you. But last night I was acting like I was single too. So I don't really have a right to be mad. And so I just want you to move freely, but also know that I'm someone who has an interest in you.
Listen, Noelle, I'm just going to put this out here. Uncle Ben has this to say. Don't advertise your toxic traits in the courtship phase. So if you're saying I have an interest in you, but I have a toxic trait that I'm territorial, that's not going to be a value add in that moment. Just gonna put that out there as a suggestion.
And he's like, well, I think you're a sweet girl, but I've been in a lot of situations where people create expectations of me. And she goes, like this. And then she just starts glossing again.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, which, by the way, more fuckboy language. People put expectations on me. I'm an artist. I'm a free spirit. And so then, of course, he says this. He goes, you know, I just got into a situation and it was too fast. And that situation made me change how I approach relationships. And Noelle is great, but she's also Summer's friend. And I'm not here for the drama. Just want to slow it down.
Yeah, so he cuts her off at the knees pretty much. And she's like, well, that's a cute way of saying I'm not interested. But you know what? It's good that she did this. I mean, it's kind of, I can understand why she's totally humiliated, but this would have been a really long summer of him and his terrible flirting and her thinking it means something when he was just going to do this the whole time, you know?
And Noelle goes, I get it. I'm feeling so embarrassed. And he's like, listen, don't be embarrassed. You didn't know I hate tofu. I mean, you should have if you were interested in me, but nothing to be embarrassed about. She's like, no, not about that. Okay, I'm going to go gloss over there in the corner.
And of course, Alex does exactly what you think he would. He goes straight to Amir and he's like, wow, that was an ambush. It's like she's already decided in her mind that I was her man.
That's not what it was at all. First of all, it wasn't an ambush. Second of all, she just showed you that she was interested in you. And the fact that he took it that way shows, again, what a fuckboy he is. Like, this is what he always does. Like, these women are crazy right now.
No. So now it's time to head home. So Jordan's like, okay, Summer, I guess we need to talk. And I guess you're leaving. And she's like, I'm not leaving. I just need air. It's hot. She goes, okay. Then go get some air then. She goes, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what happened in this club, but tensions are heightened now. So Jordan's like, okay, but you interrupted me and then you want to turn up at me? And she goes, can I answer now? Can I answer? It's always your way. You want to attack people. She's like, you feel attacked? She goes, I can't say a word. I can't say anything. Preston, chime in.
Preston's like, it doesn't sound like you guys really hear each other, to be honest. And Summer goes, I don't think we are. And then she starts sobbing and heads out of the car, but she doesn't really leave the car. And Summer's like, I'm going to say one thing and then walk away again. Because I'm not a good friend to you. I'm a piece of shit. And Jordan's like, I never said anything to her. I didn't even say anything. Well, you didn't say I'm like, this Uber driver is like, girls, can you get out of my car? I have other fares.
This is so drunk fighting. To be continued.
To be continued. Will they ever make it from the Uber into the house? Who knows?
Dun, dun. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Go grab tickets for Europa and Los Angeles in May over at watchwhatcrappens.com. Thanks for being here. Crappens on Demand to get these videos and our bonus episodes. Last bonus was a Game of Thrones preview for House of the Dragon. Go check it out on our Patreon. We sure love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish. It's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. Shannon out of a can. Dan and Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.